All right. Here we are again. It's a very, very, very important moment. Hey, I need to shout here. Hey, because we have a special person I meet. Yeah, this person is I call it a very special person because our meeting was. Let me not speak the one I'll speak here now. But it was ordained. It was so divine. The Lord just God just arranged it, and it was a very, 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 very friendly person, very welcoming. I just saw the heart of a helper, meeting him, and he's here to help a lot of us. He's so full of information. Yeah. So, and he's no other person than Doctor. He said we should stop calling him doctor. You just like it. You just like it very easy. Leave all this doctor something. But he's a doctor. We must give honor to honor his due. Dr. Olatunji Ola Emmanuel. A brief background about his profile. He's a distinguished AI privacy expert with an extensive academic background and industry experience. Maybe he will just tell us a bit about himself because what we know is that he holds a PhD from Leibniz University, Hanover, an MPhil from Chinese University of Hong Kong, and a master's from Hong Kong Baptist University. So with expertise in AI privacy, project management, and emerging technology, he's an agile-oriented certified project manager and an innovative researcher passionate about leveraging technology to optimize scarce resources in our evolving IT landscape. His diverse educational and professional experience across Europe and Asia makes him the perfect speaker to provide us insights on what we are for. We have brought him here for us, postgraduate opportunities in Germany and Hong Kong. I remember when I met you, say, guys, tell your people, I have information, tell them. Let them hear this thing, Germany or Hong Kong. So without much ado, Emmanuel, Dr. Emmanuel, please, can you tell us what I missed? Because there are a lot. And
I think you did a very good job, Miracle. And truly, I mean, I think our meeting was also very beautiful. It was really short because we met at a conference, but it was fantastic as well. We really had a good time. And I think you said everything about myself. So I think I'll just talk about a few things that you didn't mention. So I lived in Hong Kong for about 7 years, and I had I studied in 2 universities. I also worked, in fact, in 3 universities, and these are some of the best universities in the world, by the way. And I've also each time I go back to Hong Kong, I always give talks at the university. So it's a home to me, to be honest. I've lived there for a good part of my life. And my wife also, I met my wife in Hong Kong. So come on, I mean, I really loved it. I really loved it. But also maybe a part of myself also in Germany. So in Germany, I've been here for roughly 5 years as well. So the PhD is actually more of a work because I came through skill work. I think maybe I'll talk about that in the future. But so I've been living here and working here for 5 years. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I've done since I left our beautiful country, Nigeria. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I mentioned that he's almost Niger boy, fine boy, fine dog. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So, let me record that. I remember you were making me understand that we should not look down on this kind of countries, Hong Kong, Germany. Why would our people, or why would immigrants look into considering Germany, Hong Kong for postgraduate studies?
Very good. So I think I'll start with Hong Kong because, in fact, that was where I started my journey outside of Nigeria. So I would say one of the things in which people really miss, especially in Hong Kong, for instance, is they miss the fact that the top, let's say, 50 universities in the world. I'm talking about the world right now. 3 of the UGC funded, like the Public University of Hong Kong, are part of the top 50 universities in the world. So I'm talking about there's this part in which everybody always go to US. You want to go to, of course, Europe now, which I'm proud of. But I think we really miss the fact that some of the best universities they compete with Stanford and all this other like great institution, Harvard and the rest of them. They have like excellent ranking. And in fact, one of the universities, which was Chinese University of Hong Kong, was where I had my MPhil. And like some of, I mean, like incredible. And even if you go to like on the 50, like universities on 50, you have even more, like two more universities. So I'm saying like most of the publicly funded universities, they are in top 100, top 50 universities in the world. So I don't know why people don't go there. I don't know why people are not actually looking into it. Although, yeah, it could also be the fact that people think that language is a problem. But I've lived there for 7 years and I never had a language problem. It's been beautiful all this while. And also, like, I have a permanent residence in Hong Kong too. So it's something that I'm really proud of. So Hong Kong is really beautiful. And also in terms of the education, beside the fact that you have like top universities, there's also this added advantage that after your university, you get to work. And I tell you, it's really good. And they have this extra 1 year. So after you're done with your studies, you have an extra year to hustle. And I tell you, you make a lot of money from there. You make a lot of money from there. And in Germany as well, I think Germany is like a hub for Europe. So and also the tuition is free here, right? Especially for even for masters, the tuition is free. So I think both countries kind of have this synergy of there's one that you can actually be some of the best people in the world, and there's one that actually have like this free resources. All you have to do is just to tap into these two countries. Well, I wouldn't call Hong Kong a country to be politically correct, but just like into Hong Kong and also into Germany. So I'm saying that this I know that there are a lot of information about Germany, no doubt about it. But the one about Hong Kong is still very scarce, and I think it's something people have to be aware of. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, when you talk about the part you said you don't really know maybe what might be challenges people go through. I think we will need to bring you again because when we publish this video, hopefully we'll get questions and comment from people. We'll put those questions together. Hopefully we can have like another section with you so that we can address them. Yeah. Yeah, but thank you so much. Yeah, very important information you've actually dished out. But the admission process could also be a challenge for people. From your experience, what are the processes like for admission? This for these two countries, this similar.
Right, very good. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Miracle.
Yeah, I was just asking how their processes are for admission. Like how does it work? To
Good.
get admission.
I'll start from Hong Kong. I'll use because so I had my master's in Hong Kong, so maybe I'll probably just start from Hong Kong master's, then maybe PhD, then also move to Germany master's, PhD. Yeah. So from Hong Kong's perspective, to get into the master's degree, for instance, it's actually very easy. You just do all the application, everything is online. In fact, I don't like throughout the time I was in Hong Kong, I don't know what paper looks like. Like everything is basically online. So you just feel the it's like and most of the time they are of course in most of the only difference in Hong Kong is you might have to pay for the I think maybe we'll get into this notion of payment and scholarship later. But in terms of the application process in Hong Kong is very easy. You fill all your information online. You upload your documents. In fact, you don't have to go through all this. Is it translating your certificate and all of this? You don't have to go through all that. You don't need that. So you just submit everything online. They actually vet it by themselves, and they tell you whether you qualify or not. Right, and that's the master's. The same thing for PhD, because I had an MPhil as well. So the same thing for the MPhil, PhD. You do the same thing, upload all your documents. In Germany, it's also about similar, but I think in this case, sometimes you might have to go through all this uni assist and the rest of them, and then you upload all the information, and then they kind of check as well. Yeah, but in all, it's very easy. It's very easy. Like minimal effort, basically, to actually apply to. The only thing is, in Germany, you need to find, let's say, the school You might have to also go through all this process of having all these block accounts, which I think we might get into at some point later. But in terms of application, they are very, very easy. Just your degrees and every other information they require. Yeah, it's not difficult whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So somebody is taking a leap of faith after this, hearing this words of encouragement and from
Right.
Dr. Emmanuel. Yeah, I'm already seeing the opportunities. I'm seeing the ease of application as well from what he's saying. Hopefully, you'll be coming again to break it down more. He's already our friend, and he's here to help a lot of persons. Yeah. So for what you're saying, it means that someone that is, let's say, maybe a typical maybe Nigerian that wants to just finish his undergraduate studies and wants to do a master's, it's going to be easy for him to apply from Nigeria. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. As long as you have, I think I'll speak more of the Hong Kong because when I was in Nigeria, that was when I applied in Hong Kong. It was really like very, very easy. Yeah. But in Germany, because I was already I was already in Hong Kong when I applied to Germany. I wouldn't speak too much in that direction because I don't know. But based on all the stories of what I've heard and quite a few people that I spoke with as well, it wasn't all that difficult. But the one in Hong Kong is really easy, really, really easy. Yeah. But the procedure in Germany is also like very, very similar, not so like different, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay. So
And I'm
the
Miracle. I just want to on this. So I think maybe the only difference, probably at least the one in Germany, could be the language, because yeah, there are some masters that are not in English, and for that they probably would require, let's say, a language proficiency in German, and usually they require at least B1 level of language proficiency. Yeah, but at least all the masters in Hong Kong, they are mostly in English, so you don't have a problem. And because we are colonized by the British, we have this. You don't have to write all this IELTS or like all these other exams to show that you are proficient in English. So that kind of also like makes things much easier. But the one in Germany, if the masters is not in English, then you might have to prove the fact that you understand German, which is kind of natural. But if the masters is in German, then you don't have to prove anything.
Wow. A beacon of hope for us today. Beacon of hope. We're so happy, Dr. Emmanuel. You are just carrying us like a father, like just a newborn baby. Say, these people, we must get this thing. We're so happy. Thank you so much for giving us this very big hope. So you mentioned something about funding opportunities. I think you were saying something about that. I think that's where we are now.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, scholarship opportunities, funding opportunities available for students that want to, come to Hong Kong for their postgraduate studies or Germany. Yeah, can you just talk about it? Just give us details, please, where you can.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe I'll talk a little bit into the master's degree, then maybe go into the PhD from the Hong Kong perspective.
Yeah.
And I might be biased here, Miracle, in that I don't. Okay, I'm trying to be very careful what I say, so people won't say, "Oh, yeah, maybe because he had money." Of course, we were broke, but yeah, yeah. Looking for master's opportunities in Hong Kong that is fully funded is very difficult. Very difficult. And but the good thing is the tuition is not that expensive compared to what you pay in UK, for instance, or what you pay in U. It's very, very cheap. Yeah, so it's recently, I think it was like now 120 or 150 Hong Kong dollars, which is roughly, I don't know, 12,000 euros or yeah, or in pounds, maybe 15K roughly. But the good thing is that you can make that money back quickly. Right. And I think that is where people are really missing it. Yes, if you convert it to Naira, for instance, it's like maybe 20 or 30 million Naira, for instance. But I can tell you, you can actually make back that money in, I don't know, in 6 months, 1 year, right? You can actually make back that money. So I'm trying to say that it is not all that bad, right? And so I would not advise anyone going to Hong Kong, for instance, to look for, let's say, master's degree in Hong Kong. Yeah, please do not look for sorry, a funded master's degree, because it's very difficult and also very competitive for masters. Okay, for PhD, it's a lot like a different ballgame completely. But for masters, I think it's better just pay them, get the best of the city, enjoy the city, make back your money. You pay back wherever you, whether even if it's loan, you pay it back. But for PhD, I wouldn't advise anybody to pay from their own pockets for PhD, because there are a lot of opportunities. So in Hong Kong, there are actually like three opportunities. There's one called HKPFS. So that one is actually very competitive. It's called Hong Kong Postgraduate Fellowship Scheme. It's very, very competitive, one of the most competitive in the world, in fact. It's always a lot of foreigners get it because it's meant for foreigners to actually attract some of the best, some of the best talent. So you could probably check that Hong Kong postgraduate, I think, fellowship scheme, HKPFS. That's the short word. And there is also one that is by the university. So it is based on, let's say, project. So if your professor have money, they actually pay you. But the good thing in Hong Kong is that you tend to have this. It's like almost like immediately you can have your. I'm trying to use the right word. I'm sorry. So when the university actually takes care of everybody compared to it's like very different to what you do in Germany, in which it's based on 75%, 10% scholarship and all these weird things. But in Hong Kong, it's more kind of uniform. So if all the university are paying, let's say, equivalent to, let's say, 2,000 euros, everybody pays, right? If everybody's paying 10,000 euros, everybody pays 10,000 euros. I'm just using random numbers. So, and that is also another scheme to go. So if it's based on project, which you have the professor, I think that's also another way to go. So I think those two ways. And the other one is if you want to fund yourself, which I don't recommend for a PhD. But in all, I think the most difficult part is in, getting the professor that does exactly what you're doing, and to be able to fund you. So that's the only difficult part. But in terms of the funding processes, there's HKPFS, which is just trying to recap on what I said, which is global. Everybody can apply. It's like a pool, and they actually select only a few applications. And there's one that is also that's much easier, which is go to the professor, tell them, hey, this is what I want. Are we working in the same direction? Okay, good. They pay you, and then you're done. Yeah. So those are the two opportunities in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, you really broke it down very fine. I think it's similar with some countries like in the US and the UK, similar kind of admission process, or or process to like getting funding for your
Right.
PhD and masters. All right, thank you so much. So now visa requirements. I know
Yeah, but
we'll still
yes,
come to you.
sorry, Germany. Yes. I don't think I spoke about Germany yet.
All right, go ahead. You can still.
So talk about so the funding in Germany as well. I think is a bit different from the one in Hong Kong, in that the one in Germany. Well, also this is also a personal, based on like a few people I've helped experience, is that in Germany, because the education is free, at least the master's is free. I would advise anyone to look for another scholarship. It's possible you can get. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying you're just adding an extra layer of difficulty to what is already like seemingly easy. It's easier to find, let's say, 30 million, for instance, and return it back after some time. It's much better than staying 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in the loop of trying to find one scholarship or the other. Because in Germany, the only thing they require from you is for you to be able to live in their country. Right, which is like somehow 10,000 euros, or now I think they've increased to 12,000 block accounts. Right. So looking for someone to give you, let's say, extra, for me, I think it's an overkill. So my advice would be, if you're going for masters, just get the block account and just come into the country. leave, you can also work part-time as well. You can get back some of this money. Well, maybe not as fast as you would in Hong Kong, but you can get back the money like fairly easy. And also they always have this extra year that you can also find a job and everything. So they're really open to a lot of things. Yeah. And for the PhD level, the same advice that I'm giving to Hong Kong: do not use your own money for
Mm,
PhD, right?
mm,
Because here there is also, it's also very similar to that in Hong Kong, but here you have the project based, and then you can have all this DAD scholarship and some other scholarship. There are a few scholarships in which you can apply into, or you can just contact the professor and just tell them, hey, this is what I have. If there's any scholarship and the like, so and they get to pay you. Well, at least that was what I did. So in Hong Kong, I hope I'm not talking too much. Is that all
no,
right?
this is what we are looking for. Please.
So in Hong Kong, I came exactly via the same route. I paid for my tuition, and it was supposed to be a 1 year program, and 1 year turned to 7 years. Well, not that I'm in school for 7 years, but I meant I enjoyed the school, the like the city very much. I stayed there even longer, right? I really had a good time. I really had a good time in Hong Kong, and so I came by paying my tuition, and afterwards, I went for MPhil. So the MPhil was funded. They paid me for doing research because it's research. So it was funded. So it was in fact supposed to be a PhD, but my professor retired. So I had to like stop in MPhil. And I think this is one of the things that is very good as well in Hong Kong compared to even Germany or some other countries, in which in Hong Kong you could always have this PhD MPhil. So if something happens in the middle, yeah, rather than just losing your life, you know, just wasting those time, they can actually convert it into an MPhil, and you write your thesis on that, and then you can continue whatever you want to do afterwards. But anyways, that was the route in which I took. And when I came to Germany, it was much easier in that I didn't have to go through all this DAD or whatever. I came in as a skilled worker,
Mm,
right? So I didn't come here as a student, although I came here for my PhD, but I didn't
mm,
come as a student. I came here as a skilled worker. So they're paying me like a decent pay, actually very good. But it was yeah. But alongside, I did my PhD as well, and
mm,
all those counted into experiences that you going to school. You understand what
mm.
I'm saying? Rather
Yeah.
than you going to yeah. So those are the ways in which I think you can actually navigate those two, Hong Kong and also Germany.
So
Yeah.
what's now the striking difference between the Germany and the Hong Kong for funding opportunities?
Good.
What's striking
Right.
difference?
Right. So one major difference between Hong Kong and Germany in terms of the funding is uh, the funding in Germany is much complicated and less uniform. So I've
Mm,
had colleagues that we worked in the same office, and for them, for instance, they were getting 75% scholarship or 75% salary. Some of
mm,
them were even on scholarship, which was even less. They paid them is like maybe 1,500 per month or something. I mean, and yeah. So I'm saying like so it's much. The landscape in Germany is very unbalanced. So if you have a good project, life is good for you. You have, let's say, this E13 because the pay scale they pay you E13, you're happy, everybody's good. And but in Hong Kong, it's uniform. So everybody pays you the same. Every university you go, they pay you exactly the same. For I'm talking in terms of the research now. So in
mm.
terms of the PhD, yeah. So everybody pays you the same. So it's more like a uniform pay scale across all the
Mm.
universities, right? Except if you have
That's for Hong Kong, right?
exactly, yeah. Except if you have this HKPFS, where your money seems to be quite high, comparably, like very high than
Mm.
the norm. And it's only like a few people that actually have that scholarship in Hong Kong. So yeah, and it's also based on luck, and also like your profile has to be good, but also based on luck because it's just random after some time. Yeah. So those
Wow.
are the differences. So just to recap, Germany, it's much complicated in terms of like the pay scale. It's also good. It's very good, but in Hong Kong is more uniform. Yeah.
Well, like somebody might be worried. This money you're talking about, can it cover the person's, no matter how low,
Mm,
accommodation, eating, and all
right.
of those things, healthcare? Does that cover all those?
Well,
Um,
the one in Hong Kong, yeah, covers. It covers. yeah, it usually covers. Of course, you don't also want to leave because Hong Kong is one of the most expensive places. Yeah, so you also don't want to live in like skyscrapers and all this. There are a lot of like student hostels and like very small houses. So it should be sufficient. At least I survived, so it wasn't bad. And still, I still love like I still love Hong Kong. So it is not bad at all. It is not bad whatsoever. Yeah, it is. It's good enough. And also in Germany as well, even 1,500. Well, for me, maybe because I happen to like got I got much more. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. 1,500 also is okay to survive in Germany as well. If you're living modestly, you can still party and you can do quite a lot of things. Like yeah, as long as you don't want to buy the next Ferrari or Porsche, you should be fine. Yeah, it's already okay.
Wow, interesting. So someone listening and watching you, I believe you're inspired already to take the next leap of, take the next leap of faith, right? And pursue that dream, of schooling abroad in Hong Kong and Germany. It's a good spot, to pick, a good place to visit for your postgraduate studies. Um, you see the way Dr. Emmanuel is, I see the big man in his face,
Big man, yeah.
Okay. So, what are the visa requirements? And can you maybe, highlight or throw some lights on what opportunities what people can do when they get this scholarship in
Very good.
Germany, Hong Kong? Yeah.
Okay, so I'll also start from Hong Kong again on this visa requirement. So the only visa requirements in which is that I think might be a bit tricky is the fact that they want you to have a certain amount of money in your bank account, not as you as it's just like for instance your father or your sponsor, whoever you call the sponsor, right? Which I think is not so easy to find. I mean, you just
Mm,
need to find one that has like lots of money flowing in the accounts, and that's already okay. At least for Hong Kong, that's all they require. So besides your degree, I think that's about it. And in Germany, rather than them asking you to show the bank account of your sponsor, they want
mm,
you to have a block account, right?
mm,
So they want to be sure that you can survive in their country without any problem. So, an alternative to the block account is called, okay, the German word is coming right now, but it won't benefit anyone.
yeah.
It's okay. It's declaration of commitment. Yeah, it's called declaration of commitment, where someone that already lived in Germany that has, let's say, permanent residency or passport and has a good job, I can vouch for you and say, okay, this person is not going to stay on the streets. This person is is like I can support the person basically. Yeah, so that's the route. And usually, I mean, I see a lot of people do it for people. Of course, in most cases, people use it as business, but it's relatively cheaper than looking for, let's say, this block account because block account should be like I think maybe 12,000 euros right now, or even more. But it's less than 15,000 euros. Yeah, in that account, but it's still your money anyway. Yeah,
Mm,
so it's your just for them to be sure that okay, you can survive. You're not going to stay on the street. You won't be a nuisance. So I think that is just the main difference. At least the one from Nigeria, I'm sorry, the one from Hong Kong, they need a Nigerian account. Just making sure that there's a certain money amount of money flowing, and the one in Germany, they want you to have the physical money in Germany, right?
mm,
And then they keep giving you like every month. Yeah.
mm. That's for the Germany one, the physical money.
Right, exactly. But the Hong Kong one, they just want you to have a kind of transaction. So as long as you have someone that have like high frequency transaction in their like bank accounts, then that is already sufficient to qualify for Hong Kong visa. Yeah.
But that's not the one that needs the declaration of commitment. It's the other one,
That
Germany.
is so instead of the block accounts in Germany, you can also have this declaration of commitments. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Don't worry, some
Right.
person might be saying, the information are just, you can take your time and go over the video again. And maybe we'll drop links. I think we can provide links for people to
Fantastic.
also
Right.
maybe check this out,
Right. Right.
and, do their research as well. So don't
Mhm.
worry, we'll drop those links you need for everything we are saying, for
Right.
you to check it out yourself. Well, Dr. Emmanuel, really happy, so far I feel like coming to Hong Kong now. I'm leaving the UK. I just come to Hong Kong. Let me just do this thing I'm saying. I just come and
It's
oh
really
my
beautiful.
God. Well, you're really breaking it down. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How can students like have a strong application? What are the things they need to look at to strengthen the application and increase their success rate?
So maybe I can answer that question with a story, and maybe this might help people as well to kind of understand. Yeah. So they actually I have a friend. His name is, well, I'll just call him Ali. That's not his real name, but I'll just call him Ali just for the sake of understanding. And then he has a friend. I'm not sure whether they're still friends anymore, but Ali finished with a 2-1. All right, so he applied. So he contacted me, and I helped him to actually secure like a position in one of the universities. So he said, okay, I have this other guy. His name is Baba, and he said, Baba had a first class from University of Ilorin or something like that. So he was like, how about he applies together with me? I was like, well, it's at your own risk. And the interesting thing is this, which is very beautiful, is that so they gave Baba, which was not my friend, which was like an attaché in this case, just someone that they gave him a full scholarship. It was a master's, by the way. So they rarely do that. They rarely do that. But in computer science, for instance, at least that's where I studied, and they sometimes do this kind of scholarship, full tuition scholarship, right? But you have to apply first. You have to apply first. Then they're going to check. So I think mainly because of his first class, that was one of the reasons, and maybe a few things he had done. So he applied, and then they gave him a full tuition free. Okay, and so to answer your question, before I continue the story, to answer your question, so if you have a first class, I think you might qualify for some scholarship. They are usually not advertised, but internally, the university or the department just decides, that, okay, we love this guy, let's give him scholarship. I mean, it's sometimes that easy, right? So if you have a 2-1, you still have some chance, but you have to do a lot more, right? But getting an admission, to be honest, is not that difficult. It's just getting those scholarships that are difficult. So to continue the story, thank you very much for what you've done. I got a full tuition scholarship. I was like, what are you waiting for? And what he told me is, he said, but I don't have money to live in the country. I mean, in the city, yeah, in Hong Kong. So I said to him, I was like, people are looking for opportunities to live. You got a full, people will pay even the, the tuition,
Hmm.
and now you have the tuition, and you're telling me that you don't have the amount to live in the, like in Hong Kong. And I told him, I said, just go find. You can make this money back very easy, very simple. And sometimes, because my wife actually worked in in the F&B industry, in the restaurant industry for almost 7 or 8 years. So she has a lot of connections with her. And when I talk about restaurants in Hong Kong, they pay crazily. Like, I mean, that's where the oil money is. Yeah. So they pay them quite well. They pay them quite well. Even for, I mean, for, yeah, for without experience, you are still well paid. Yeah. So I told him, if you have this, you can actually do this and do this as part time, and you can actually navigate. But the long and short of the story is, my friend, which brought the friend, Ali never got. He only got like admission. He never got any tuition waiver or anything. So well, he still came to Hong Kong and he did his own thing. But Baba that got the full tuition waiver never showed up, just because of this like tiny, I mean, like not necessarily tiny, but not wanting to pay for anything. So to answer your question, so the first thing to be strong is good grades are very important at the master's level. At the PhD level also, it's also very important. I have to say, yeah, it's very important. And afterwards, maybe some community service if you can, or some other extra stuff. Yeah, I think that's also possible. So I think those are the things that can really make your application strong. And I have to tell you that also a lot of people in the admission committee, they look at some of these things, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but getting into, especially into Hong Kong, getting into their master's degree, it is not that difficult. You don't have to prove yourself too much. 2-1 is already sufficient. Yeah, but if you want to, let's say, get a scholarship or you want to rank higher, then you can actually have, let's say, first class and do some extras. Yeah.
Yeah. Then with things like statement of purpose, those documents are important, right?
But in most cases, they are just formalities. I have to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah. Yeah, some of these things are just formalities.
Mm,
Well, maybe with AI now, people might be able to read through everything because they receive thousands of applications. They
yeah.
receive thousands of applications, and I believe what they actually do is before your statement of purpose, they already like vetted out a lot of people, right?
Mm,
Vetted out a lot of people. So your statement of purpose is not the one speaking for you. Your your degrees and your transcripts is the one that speaks for you first, right?
mm,
So
mm,
after that, they still want to cut people. Then they start looking at some of this statement of purpose. But I have to say that is always the last line of the admission. Yeah. So to be strong, just get your degree in check. That's all. Yeah.
mm,
And if even if you let's say I mean you came out with third class,
mm,
there is hope. It's
mm,
just that you might have to do like some extra. And in some cases, one thing I've heard of in Hong Kong, and I think also maybe in Germany as well, is that they also look at your age,
mm.
right? For instance, if you're 40 and you're coming for a master's degree, in most cases the bar is very low. Even if you had a pass, maybe they might, because I happened to I met a woman. By the way, I hope I'm not talking too much though.
No, this is what we need, please. Thank you so much.
I met a woman that 60 years old. She has already lived her life, everything, and she came to Hong Kong for a bachelor's degree. And I
Mm,
asked her, I was like, "What are you doing here?" And she told me, she said, "First of all, I'm divorced. I have nothing to I
sure.
have nothing to do. All my children, they're all grown. I just feel like I'm missing something." And they admitted that, I'm sure, maybe all she presented was, I don't know, maybe 1918 diploma. Or maybe
Mm,
she'd never, because it was a bachelor's degree, by the way, not even a master's degree, a bachelor's degree. Right. So I'm not even sure she provided anything. So I'm trying to say that sometimes age could also be a factor, right? They could also consider if you're, let's say you're old and you actually show that, okay, I still want to make something out for myself, even if it means that the purpose is to japa, you know.
mm.
You try to convince them that okay, I still want to study. Yeah, I've seen quite a few cases in which age also plays a very important role too. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's challenges that there's some challenges that students, international students in countries like UK, I'm sure of UK, that's where I reside currently. I see some of these things, what
Mhm.
they face, with survival, right?
Mm.
Um, when they don't get like maybe fully funded scholarships, you
Right.
see, and I don't know whether that's the same thing that applies for Hong Kong, for the Hong Kong and Germany as well. Like for the UK, you have limited working hours, 20 hours for students, not 40 hours in a week. So I don't know, are they similar,
Yeah.
challenges
It,
as well in Hong
right.
Kong?
It is very similar. It is very very similar. But the one in Hong Kong, I think it's because you get like more pay. To be honest, in Hong Kong, you get more pay. But also,
Mm,
I happen to go to a church here in Germany as well. That I mean, 90%, or in fact 95%, they are all students. So they're actually from Indonesia, right? So and they are all students. And I tell you, the kind of life these boys and girls live, I was like, what? So I'm saying like it's already sufficient, right? Because in most cases you always live in a shared apartment, right? So you live with one person. So I mean the living cost is not like all the way through the roof, right? And
mm,
they can always have like a part-time job. So it's I think it's already sufficient. It's already sufficient. Except well, another problem would be, let's say you're supporting your family back home. I wouldn't say you cannot, but it's just that it won't be as huge as, let's say, for instance, say you're sending, I mean, you're providing 1 million every month. You
mm,
clearly won't. when you come here, at least for the time of your studies. Afterwards, of course, you can even make more. I mean, if you know what you're doing. Yeah, but I would say I think that's the only thing I find from our foreigners. But what do we use to survive in the country? You have
Mm,
it. What
mm,
you can also like, I mean, you can also have girlfriends, how
mm,
many whatever you want. You can also go for parties. You can
mm,
also, you can pay your tithes as well. You can, I mean, you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. I'm saying like it's sufficient. I don't know so much about UK, because actually that's one of the reasons I never went to UK, because you guys, you send us out of the country immediately. Like after
mm,
you're done with your master's degree, you're out of the country, right?
mm.
And that is and it's also very difficult to find some of these part-time jobs. But in Germany and in Hong Kong, it's much easier. It's much easier. Yeah, and in fact, there are a lot of companies that also encourage that because they know, right? They know that students need something, so they try to also like provide some of this like access to working students. Basically, that's what they call them. Yeah. So it's
Oh,
much easier. Whatever you're
thank
earning is.
interesting, interesting. This side, you see some of us international students, they have to do like some low skill jobs. That's what they
Hmm.
call it here. Maybe like jobs where they don't rational for them just to
Mhm.
meet up, and sometimes they don't get all of the hours, coupled with school programs, trying to, it's not very easy for students, so, but these are the things we see. Well, not to scare anyone, yeah, Hong Kong is a very good place
It is.
to visit if you're led for what Dr. Emmanuel is letting us know today, and Germany too. But life after school, career prospects, are there some careers that don't go there? What are trending careers? Which one is paying more? All those things. That's what people want to know.
This is a very beautiful question. Well, I'm talking as a computer scientist. So, and for us, we are in demand everywhere. But some courses in which I think, in Hong Kong, for instance, that are not so good is if you want to go into, let's say, normal banking, like, because that is where your language proficiency comes in, because now you're speaking with the locals.
Mm,
But the two jobs in Hong Kong that are really booming right now is anything into IT and anything into teaching. All right.
mm,
If you're a teacher, I tell you, even your professors cannot get the kind of money that they are paying a kindergarten teacher in Hong Kong. I'm not kidding. And this is not, I'm not trying to brag. And they in fact have like this English Student Foundation, ESF schools, and they actually pay them like crazily. So if you're a teacher and it's something you want to do, you want to actually go into teaching, especially teaching English, beautiful, go to Hong Kong. If you're an IT professional, go to Hong Kong. If you're also into business, go to Hong Kong. But if all this fine arts and all these things, don't go to Hong Kong.
when you mean
Yeah,
teaching business, what do you mean by, is it teaching business studies or just going there
I
to
know.
import things and sell at a
So what I mean by business, well, I'm thinking of, let's say, business analytics. Also, if you're an entrepreneur as well, it's a very fertile ground for entrepreneurs too. Yeah, so it's really beautiful for entrepreneurs. So those are the things in which I'm saying. So if you're business oriented, you make quick money because also there's a proximity to China. So
Mm,
you can go to China. And now, because we were there last year, and as a permanent resident, they have a new scheme in which we just have to have a China card and we can go to China just anyhow, like whenever we want to go. Yeah. So it's a new scheme. So what I'm trying to say is, so you have this closeness, and they have this. They just made. I think it's like a 45 drive, like train ride from Hong
mm.
Kong to mainland. So it's very fast, super fast, right? So
Wow.
I'm trying to say like so there's a lot of like countless opportunities. Yeah, but if you're less, or let's say you have all this is the government studies and some of these things to go there because
It's very
I
study. These are the challenges we also have in the UK. You study some kind of courses and like, what are you going to do with this thing? You have to start looking for something else.
exactly, yeah. So I advise you to go if you have some of those courses. Maybe in Nigeria they can sell, but they might also sell outside of Nigeria. But I think the main hurdle is the language. That is when you have to speak their language. So if you're
Yeah.
good at languages, life is good. Then maybe you can do business studies and go do international relations and see how you can do. But I would not advise it because it's quite a lot of struggle. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I think there's something we did not also mention because some
Right.
parents might be considering coming with their family, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
now let's be clear on something. You come as a student and you study the course that is going to take you to the next level in your career because you're going to be in the same profession. So let's say
Mhm.
maybe I come to study English or
Right.
postgraduate
Mhm.
and I can now teach English, or I should already be a teacher in maybe in my country, right?
Mm.
Before educating as a foreigner. Is that what you're saying? I just want more clarity.
Right.
Then does it
Well,
allow me to also bring my dependent student visa?
mm,
Because in the UK, for masters, you can't bring your dependent unless you're coming as a PhD
mm.
student. But for masters, it's been overruled. It does not work again for that.
Yeah,
So, but
well,
what's the
first
opportunity
of all,
for come?
there's no restriction. There's no restriction. You can bring your family. You can
Wow.
bring your family. They really don't care. The only thing is you just have to be able to show that you can sufficiently survive with your family. Once
Mm,
you're able to prove the fact that the family won't become a burden, right? Then it's
mm,
fine. If what they do is they whatever visa the sponsor is having is what they will give to the partner. So, for instance, if you're here as a student on the also a kind of student visa, right?
mm,
So that's why, well, maybe it's a way to kind of discourage, but one thing I know is they will not stop you from bringing your family. The
mm,
only thing they're also restricted on some things in which they could do, right? That is one thing I know. But usually, what people do when they bring their spouses is they bring in their spouses, and then the spouse try to find a job, right?
mm.
And once they find a job, in most cases, they actually get their visa converted from, let's say, a dependent visa to let's say, a full, like a normal visa, and which is actually very easy to do. You just have to get something that is within the framework of any company that is willing to sponsor your visa. So in Hong Kong, there's no restriction, to be honest. And when you finish your studies, after assuming you just do the 1 year masters and you finish, and then they give you this. It's called IANG visa, so international for non-local graduates. So they give you that visa, and that one you can actually bring your wife, bring your children, bring everybody, even your grandfather, if there is one. You can actually you can ship everybody to Hong Kong. Yeah, you can.
Wow, that's insightful.
Yeah, that one has no restriction. It has zero restriction. So your wife, the point, your wife will also be given a similar, like equivalent visa, which allows her to work and do everything she wants to do. So I'm saying that family is not a problem. I think in Germany as well, it is not too much a problem. I don't know because I didn't come here for masters, but at least from because I came as a skilled worker, so and I had the blue card. So it was much easier for my wife to. In fact, she didn't have to prove like language proficiency because usually in Germany, if you want to bring your wife and it's just on a normal residence visa, she must possess at least A1 German, right? But if
Mm,
you come in as a blue card, you don't have to provide that because they believe you're an expert in a particular field, and they make life a lot easier. Because I mean, they take all our taxes, so why not? So they try to make it a lot easier so you can pay more taxes.
wow, wow, wow.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find out about the route to citizenship because it's something I want to also look into. There is the global talent visa for United Kingdom,
Right.
US. Some countries are giving global talent visa. I've had something like that for Hong Kong, but I don't know how the residency works in Hong Kong. Does it also need to, like in the UK,
Mm.
depend on the visa routes? For global talent visa, there's a 3 years route, there's a 5 years route. You become a permanent resident, and after that, you become a citizen of the country. You have a passport. So, is it the same thing for Hong Kong? Does it
Yeah.
guarantee such kind of privilege?
I'll speak about Hong Kong, then also moving to Germany. So in Hong Kong, yeah, yes. In fact, they also have this global talent visa as well, but usually they target the people from mainland China. All right. Yeah. But mostly not international students. But recently, I was reading the news that now they want to actually expand, or maybe they did already, to like to international students. But in Hong Kong, they have this whether you whenever as a foreigner when you go to Hong Kong, it's a 7 year constraint. So after 7 years, then you can be their permanent resident. And that after you obtain the permanent resident, then you can apply for passport. So right, I can already apply for passports.
The person is not going to lose his originality, like
that is the
citizenship.
I love this question, Miracle. That is the tricky part in Hong Kong compared to Germany. So in Hong Kong, you have to lose your citizenship. You have to. You have to lose your citizenship. Yeah, so you have to lose it. Yeah. And that is the only downside from Hong Kong at this moment. So you lose it. Yeah, but I mean, in Nigeria, well, anyway, this is on YouTube. Let's not talk about that.
Oh my God. Oh, so somebody might just be going there for business purposes, and that's the reason why. Okay, let me steal personal reasons as well.
Right.
Maybe the quality of education the person wants to get. If the person is not ready to lose, all of that. Yeah, that's
that's the problem of the current drawback from Hong Kong, that you have to lose it. You have to lose you have to lose Nigerian passport.
Germany is not that way.
Oh yeah, very good. In Germany, recently they started this new direction of you have dual citizenship. So in Germany, right now, it's possible to have both Nigeria and also like German citizenship. But of course, not to talk so much about all these differences, but I wanted to just highlight that there's a lot of drawback in dual citizenship. In that, because I've been reading the news lately, I'm not sure if this is the right channel, but I just wanted to hint that maybe Hong Kong is not that bad. But yeah, we're reading a lot of news in which now they're looking for ways. So even if you have dual citizenship and you do something bad in that country, right, they could actually deport you back. For instance, in this case, assuming you have dual citizenship of Nigeria and also Germany, if you do something bad in Germany, they will deport you back to Nigeria. Right? But if you only but if you don't elect for the dual citizenship, if you just say, okay, I want to be German, if you do something bad, you just go to their prison, you come back, and you are still part of the society, right? So I'm just trying to say that there's also a drawback in dual citizenship, right? So I'm trying to say, well, it depends on how you see it. If you see it as, okay, you'll be a good person, then okay, go for it. But if you think there's an element of badness in you, just go for the don't go for the dual citizenship. So in case of anything, you are still part of them. They will send you back to Tinubu.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and now that you hinted, I'm sorry, Miracle. Now that you hinted on the new global talent visa, which I know that's what you do actually, is now there's a new route in Germany as well. So, for instance, I had my German permanent residence in 21 months, right? And that has given me a lot of opportunities as well. And I could also apply, because I'm already 5 years now, I could apply. In fact, we're already applying for the passport, right? So what I'm trying to say is now things have actually changed, and it's really possible to apply faster. And one other thing that is different in Germany, you have to speak the language to get their passport. In Hong Kong, you speak Chinese or Cantonese to get the passport. Right. So the only thing is you have to have a Chinese name. And if you look at my profile, I already have a Chinese name. I mean, it's just something very similar to your name. Yeah.
So, but it's not compulsory to have a to speak Chinese, so you just have to have that.
No, you don't have to. In Hong Kong, you don't have to speak no Chinese to get their citizenship. Although it's better if you can, like it's because it makes you feel more into like you understand the society better. But if you don't, that is not a factor of not giving you.
Yeah, I can speak Chinese. Tincho. You know what I mean? Emmanuel. Please, I can't. I'm just joking. That is joke. Disclaimer. You don't speak.
Yeah, but in all,
Uh,
it's very easy to get citizenship in both I mean, in Hong Kong and also in Germany.
you would have greeted us. You would have greeted us in Chinese this morning. This
No way.
afternoon.
Next time,
So,
next time, next time
so
I'll agree.
you come and teach us the language. Oh my God. All right. So much. So we'll be having let's call it a wrap today. We'll be having Dr. Emmanuel back on this channel because you see that this man is loaded, right? There's so much to take from this our brother, right? Yeah? And he's a father. See, he wants to just take care of us as his children, Father Abraham. So there is a lot to take from him. And obviously, I know that we'll get a lot of reactions after this after we publish this video, and there's so many persons wanting to get guidance. They want to reach out to you. So how can they reach out to you? What channels can they reach you on? Please, can you just let them know?
Yeah. I think my LinkedIn is actually very good, and I have to say, so I still like on the side. I help quite a lot of people in Hong Kong. So if you see a few people in Hong Kong that are from Africa, at least some of them might have gone through me. So there's still a part that well, I think I told you a few, but there's still a part I'm withholding. That's the business strategy.
This one. I remember that ICM. I remember what you said that day. Like, it's personal. It's personal. Yeah, it's personal. Yeah,
Yeah, you can just pick me out on LinkedIn. So I think my name is Olatunji Yola Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Yeah, so you can just like reach out to me, just send me a message, and I think we'll probably take it from there. Yeah, we'll take it from there. Yeah,
thank
but
you so
one thing
much.
yeah, sorry, one thing I wanted to say before I don't know whether we're already closing is that so in fact so Miracle I'll be working in Luxembourg. So I stopped working. I told you I like money, right? Make sure you cut this part out
Oh,
of this.
oh, guy, Emmanuel. This one, I did not hear this one. I didn't know this one. Though. Ah. Okay. Okay, I have lost our head.
So I think you invite me to tell you some of the things in Luxembourg as well. So I'll be moving to Luxembourg next month, actually.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So,
But
you're wearing him now. So there are still more goodies coming for us.
I'm saying, and then there's a lot of opportunities. It's just that people are either not seeing it or people are not, looking close into it because there are a lot of opportunities. Once you're in Europe, I think you have this kind of endless possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Right, and I think that's so I'll be really enjoying best of both worlds because I want to still live in Germany while I'm working in Luxembourg. That's actually what I'm doing.
We need to be giving sometimes when we invite people to come and speak, we say people that will just stand up and give standing ovation. Let me be giving they have deserved my own standing ovation. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So let's save the rest for the other ones. All right.
Right.
Please, if you want to get all this information, you want to know more about, that's what we do. We connect talent opportunities. Remember, global talent is not a destination; it's a journey. So we've had the man with the opportunities in the journey today, and he has given us a whole lot. I will give us more. So please subscribe, click it, click the
Exactly.
like.
We'll tell them they better subscribe. If they don't subscribe, we'll not give them any information. Let with them. We'll let you deal with them.
Please click the like button. Whenever we have, more videos, Luxembourg, and more of these opportunities and questions, answers to your questions with Dr. Emmanuel, you are going to get it. Yes, you are going to get it. All right. Thank you so much. Till we meet again in our next video. See you. Bye.